Thank you.
So 12th of March, here with Martin and his line manager Jane, just chatting through Martin's role. So Martin, talk to me a little bit about your role and what it is you do. What's your roles and responsibilities on a day-to-day level?
I have various roles to comply with each week. These are such as processing refunds, transferring credits and debits from accounts to current accounts, from former accounts. A lot of my jobs come on an ad hoc basis from requests of tenants, whether they need rent cards, rent payment cards, and I need to send them a card. Area housing estates officers might ask if I can transfer a bit of credit, or again whether they've had a request from a tenant for rent cards. I also work closely with one of our e-business analysis people, and she deals with the goings on behind the scenes of the rent accounting procedures really, and I just practically implicate and implement what she does.
Okay, no, that's perfect. So, sorry, we should have taken a step back there. What's the department you're in and what's your job title?
It's tenancy services, as a smaller department inside housing services. My role is housing rents officer, so I do deal with a lot of the rent side as well as direct debits and actually taking income in and putting up the rent accounts.
Yeah. So Jane, talk me through Martin's role a little bit in terms of communication and also sort of writing communication. How does that work and who does he do that to?
Yeah, sure. Martin very much helps support the team of area housing estates officers and myself. He's actively involved on a daily basis, emails, phone calls. He assists with report information, putting together spreadsheets and graphs. And I think Martin's knowledge and experience is increasing all the time with the work that he's doing. So another big part of what Martin does is he forms part of the office duty rota. So 2 days a week, Martin is on standby to receive calls either in person or by phone into the office and to deal with all tenancy related inquiries.
Okay, great. And when Martin's dealing with the inquiries, is that on the phone, by email? How does he complete that? Is it well completed? How does he adhere to your processes here?
I think it's mixed. I think there's a lot of phone calls, but equally he's responding to quite a lot of email inquiries as well. We definitely have a format of how we would like responses made either to tenants or to other staff members. There is a distinct way of wording letters and wording emails, which Martin is fully aware of and fully complies with. I do see a lot of the work that Martin completes, and I'm more than happy with what he's doing.
Brilliant. And how does Martin, some of the phone calls, I've observed it actually when I've been in, sometimes can be quite difficult. How does Martin handle that, and how does he use his choice of the way he deals with his audience correctly?
We certainly do get a number of very difficult calls into the office for a variety of reasons, and I think Martin remains calm, which I think is absolutely vital. If he is struggling internally, he's not showing it externally. I think keeping cool, keeping calm, asking questions, listening to what the person is actually saying and acknowledging what they're saying goes a long way towards how he's able to resolve the issue.
Brilliant, okay. And then, talking about Martin's been here about 18 months now and obviously has involved into that. So if you can talk us through the sort of beginning what Martin was doing and then now being offered full-time employment here.
Although Martin only became a member of our team officially from early November, we certainly knew Martin quite well from his time within the admin team, because he did a lot of shadowing and work with us as a team. So it was a huge bonus to already have quite an insight into Martin and the way he worked.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say he settled in incredibly quickly and really well, and is a really focused and important part of the team. I think, as well as the day-to-day work that Martin does, which, as I say, is the rent accounting work and forming part of our office duty rota, Martin's always offered to go the extra mile and look at new ways and improved ways of delivering the service, looking at changing things, producing graphs, which certainly helps me for meetings that I then have to attend.
Brilliant.
Specifically about rent arrears. Setting up spreadsheets for the rest of the team, which enables them to do their work more efficiently and more quickly. So,
and in terms of Martin's sort of performance and learning plan and taking feedback and accepting that, how's that gone, encouraging it?
Extremely well. I think sometimes not everything goes 100% all the time, and if there have been issues or problems, not through anyone's fault, but just through processes and procedures, I think Martin's always brought that to me, and we've chatted it through and discussed the way forward or the way around a particular issue. So I think his willingness to be open and honest when dealing with anything that's not run of the mill or anything that he just wants to double check on has helped enormously.
Good. And what kind of learning plan appraisal, how does that work here?
We meet for one-to-ones.
Okay.
And we also have regular team meetings where a member of the team will actually chair and be a minute taker, and Martin's already taken his turn in doing that. So there's a lot of opportunity to voice concerns, add things onto an agenda, receive feedback. If anything comes out in a team meeting that affects any of us, and the fact that we could perhaps alter things or amend things to help members of the team, then we've all looked at it, and if it's anything that affects Martin's role, straight away he's looked at it, discussed the changes and how we can effectively implement any change there. During one-to-ones we talk about training. We've highlighted a couple of training needs for Martin.
Great.
More from the duty rota perspective, having to know so much about so much, because a tenant can come in with any inquiry, anything that's tenancy related. There's been a couple of areas that Martin and other members of the team have highlighted as needing some refresher work on, or some new training on.
So Martin's evaluating his own performance
definitely.
and then improving.
Very much so.
Great, okay, thank you, that's brilliant. Thanks ever so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Oh, actually, before I finish, sorry, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was working with others and accepting different diversity, different people from different backgrounds, working with other people, showing respect to people, and also a little bit about how Martin manages waste in a business environment. Can you just talk me through some of those?
Yeah, I mean, obviously as a corporate organisation, we have a very robust equality and diversity policy. We do encounter all sorts of different people with all sorts of different needs. I think Martin showed in his interview that he clearly took all of that on board. Even more than that, he clearly puts that into practice when dealing with people. So I have absolutely no concerns that he fully complies with our equality and diversity policy. Sorry, what was the other bit?
The other I just wanted to talk about. I know that Martin deals a lot with confidential and security information, and I just wanted you to sort of confirm how he manages that and the kind of recycling processes you have here.
Certainly. Again, we do have very, very strong procedures and policies about dealing with sensitive issues. As you can imagine, a lot of our work, if not most of it, involves names, addresses, private and confidential information around rent accounts or sensitive issues going on within households. We have a clear desk policy. If we're not around at the end of the day, everything gets locked away. we all comply with that. Information that we no longer need is either shredded or disposed of in a confidential waste situation. We all have cupboards and drawers to lock things away that perhaps we wouldn't ordinarily do. But it's something that, as managers, we're very hot on, and our director in turn is very keen on that. And all of the team, including Martin, fully comply with that.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thanks for your time, Jane.
That's all right.
Thank you
You're
very
more than
much.